It's time for the RMAC Radio Show, featuring all the latest information from around the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. The RMAC is a proud member of NCAA Division II. Now, here's your host, Eric Danner.
Welcome back to the RMAC Radio Show. As we mentioned, this is our last radio show of the year, 2011-12. We'll be back starting in August of 2012 when the RMAC football season starts back up. But some things to look forward to this summer includes the RMAC Hall of Fame, which will be on Friday, July 20th at the Colorado Springs Marriott Hotel. We've got a great class going in this year, as we have every year. This will be the 10th annual RMAC Hall of Fame induction ceremony. The people we got going in, we got Dan DeRose from CSU Pueblo. Of course, a great football player, All-American, was on the all-time RMAC team and went on to be the athletic director and is also a very influential figure with CSU Pueblo bringing back football a couple of years ago. Mike Dunlap of Metro State, he led the Roadrunners to a couple of national championships in men's basketball, currently the assistant coach at St. John's University, and his name always comes up anytime a Division I job opens up here in the Mountain Time Zone, most recently, Colorado State. Dan Fix of Colorado Mines, a great wrestler. He'll be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Devin Herron from Metro State, a great setter for the Roadrunners. She'll be going in. Julie Jenkins Donnelly was a great runner for Adams State, finished up her career at Brigham Young, but had all kinds of records at ASC and national championships. And one of the all-time greats in RMAC history, Pat Porter from Adams State College. He'll be going into the Hall of Fame this year. And Pat joins us now on the RMAC hotline. Pat, how's it going today?
Oh, it's going well. It's going very, very well, thank you.
Pat, wanted to congratulate you on going into the RMAC Hall of Fame. Obviously, a lot of awards during your career. We had a chance to talk with you a few years ago when you were named the top runner in cross country in RMAC history at the 2009 Centennial celebration. Did you have an idea, Pat, when you first went to school at Adams State that your career would unfold the way it did?
Oh, absolutely not. No one was more surprised than me, at how far I got. In fact, I walked on at Adams State, and my first goal, believe it or not, was to finish the workout in good enough form where I could actually make it to the cafeteria for dinner, and that's not a joke. And then eventually just hope to make the team. So I'm as surprised as anybody, but I think what's good to know is if I can get to the level that I did, anybody certainly can if you put in the time and the effort.
Talking with Pat Porter going to the RMAC Hall of Fame this July. Pat, as a walk-on, really unbelievable career that you had there. What was it about Adams State that really tapped into your potential and was able to get you where you're on 2 Olympic teams? You're an 8-time USA track and field national champion. What was it during your time at Adams State that allowed you to go on to do such great things?
Well, gosh, we had such a great environment, and of course, we had the coaching staff that we had, and we had Dr. Joe Vigil there, and there's just a long tradition, and we actually had people from my high school that had gone there and done well. So we had sort of a pipeline going to Adams State, albeit I was not in the pipeline at the time, but the environment and the level of commitment of the other athletes there, and it's hard not to rise to a high level when you're there. You're just constantly surrounded by it, constantly surrounded by positive people and influence the great running environment. And all you have to do is make the commitment that I'm going to show up every day and I'm going to work out. But a lot of good reasons of why you can succeed at Adams State. Of course, from a physiological aspect, it's up at 7,500 feet, and Alamosa at Adams State College is a little bit isolated. But you know what? You can get in there and you get into your studies and you get into the sport that you're in, which I think is why Adams State actually excels at a number of sports, which is, opposite by the RMAC level we're at. But it was easy to get in there and focus and get in a great program and jump to high levels.
Talking with Pat Porter, 2012 RMAC Hall of Fame inductee. That's going to be happening in July at the Colorado Springs Marriott Hotel. Pat, you mentioned the great runners that you were running with. And you won a couple national championships during your time at Adams State in cross country, but there were other national champions on your team. And Sam Montoya also won a national championship. So to be the best runner on your team, you pretty much had to be the best runner in the country.
Well, that's kind of funny that you say that. You could be the best runner, in your area, be it not Adams State, being across the country, and you might not even be at Adams State. But, certainly running against Sam would take you to a whole another level. And Sam came in just almost number one guy when he first got in there, and was a national champion of his freshman year. So I had that to look up to. I was always in the shadow of Sam for a long time. And if you weren't in shape and you're on a race, Sam could probably beat you, and more than likely would. So not only Sam, but John Escabel as well. And like I said, it was just a great environment, conducive to performing well, of course, which Sam was one of those. It was hard not to be good at Adams State.
Pat Porter won multiple RMAC track and field individual championships, including the 5,000 meters in 1981, the 3,000 meter steeplechase in 80 and 81, back when they had the 3-mile run. He won that in 1980, and he also led the Indians, now of course they're the Grizzlies, to the 1980 and 81 RMAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Pat, you mentioned Dr. Vigil and what he started there, and what's also been continued by Damon Martin, the current head coach, and Adams State's second to none in track and field, cross country, and in Division II. Do you still have a chance to talk with Dr. Vigil, and what kind of ties have you kept with Adams State?
He's a very busy man. I think he's busier in retirement than he was at coaching. And,
he sure is.
I see him at different functions and whatnot, and I saw him 3 years ago in Colorado Springs at the RMAC Awards as well. But he keeps in it, and I keep touch with him. And also Pablo Vigil of no relation is another guy that was very instrumental in my climb to the top. He was a runner that was there that I was always in the shadow of, and I decided I was going to train with him for 2 summers, regardless of what it did to me. It about killed me, but they say those things that don't kill you make you stronger. So those were the 2 Vigils in my life, and a big influence that allowed me to go on after college and keep running.
Talking with Pat Porter, and Pat, of course, we mentioned you're on the U.S. Olympic team in 1984 and 1988, and then you won a record-setting 8 USA Track and Field Senior Men's Cross Country National titles. What are you doing now? Do you still run? And kind of update the audience here on what you got going on.
Well, I'm actually living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've been here since, about 97. And I don't really run anymore. I do a little bit, but I kind of ran out of reasons to run. But at one point, I got tired of buying new pants every year because my waistline was getting big. So I actually got into bicycling and some weightlifting. So I'm now at a Stealth 160 when I used to be not so Stealth 190. But I figured that's a pretty good compromise when I was racing at 130. So although I'm not running, I'm staying very fit and chasing my 2 kids and my wife around, who was on the Olympic team in the high jump, and she's still competing. So I carry her bags to the airport and drive my kids to the practice. But that's pretty much the involvement of sports that I'm in down here in Albuquerque.
Well, hey, Pat, it's been a real pleasure chatting with you. We look forward to seeing you in July, and congratulations once again on getting into the RMAC Hall of Fame. Eric,
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, that is Pat Porter, one of the all-time great runners, 2-time Olympian. When you talk to Joe Vigil and you talk about the great runners they've had at Adams State College, you got to think Pat Porter at the very top of that list. Want to thank our guests today. Of course, we heard from the folks at Metro State, their basketball team in the first segment. Then we heard from Stan Sanchez, the baseball coach at CSU Pueblo, and then we just heard from Pat Porter. Want to thank everybody for listening to the RMAC Radio Show this year. We'll see you hopefully again this August.